Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Today we're going to be making a beef. Basically, it's going to be like a teriyaki beef rice veggie bowl. So we're going to get started. First of all, I have making fresh rice. I'm going to make a nice white rice. It's going to be a very simple rice. This rice I'll use all week long for my meal preps and for my other dinners and things like that. So I put 1 teaspoon of canola oil in my pan, and I have it on medium right now. I'm just going to toast my white rice. And this is something that I like to do once a week. I usually make good rice once a week, especially if I'm going to make Asian dishes, because I do like the way I freeze the rice and then I take it out. Or for gumbo, we eat gumbo, and then it's just nice to have just extra stuff so that my dinners during the week are not so hard. So we're just going to let this toast for a few minutes. What I'll be doing is adding 4 3/4 worth of water, and I have I have 1 tablespoon and 1.5 teaspoons of chicken stock. So that's what's going to be my rice. So I have my water on for my veg. My vegetables today are going to be steamed, and I'm going to have broccoli, zucchini, snap pea, and a little bit of carrot. I'm going to use the green onion with my meat when I go ahead and start stir frying my meat. So I'm going to use that with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I was really lucky. I walked into the store. I knew Save Mart was having a sale. So I went there on purpose. I wanted to get our shrimp that we buy from there to eat. And lo and behold, I walked over to the meat department, and there are these 2 wonderful prime rib roasts sitting there. $1.99 a pound. I'm like, what? So you know me, I get 1 seasoned and 1 plain because I have to bring that meat home. That's a fantastic deal. So basically, I went ahead and took and sliced the rib off the prime rib bone. Kept those. I'm going to use those for something like maybe ribs. I don't know. But then I went ahead and cut. I think I got 6 dinners for like $40 all told, because I bought 2. And it wasn't really even $40. I think it was like really more like 36. Okay, so I got a great deal. Couldn't pass it up. $1.99 for a prime rib roast. And I just came home, cut it myself. So we're there, we're good. Okay, I'm checking my rice. And as soon as my water comes up for my veg, we'll put our veg into steam. But I normally will time my veg for about 11 minutes. So rice is almost done, and then I'm just going to continue to cut the meat. Now, this is Andrea's way. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut them into strips, and then I'm going to put lemon pepper on them, and we're going to do it that way. But first, I'll just continue to cut. And I'm not going to make all the meat right now. You know, I'm just going to make enough to show you guys. And remember, when you get a good deal, sometimes you have to cut the fat off yourself. Just cut it off. When you slice it, it'll cut even easier. And so basically, this is a ribeye. That's the kind of beef I'm using today as a ribeye. See this piece? That's not a good fat. That's a hard fat or a silver skin fat. Now, this little piece is a good fat, so you want this. So go ahead, slice it, and then what you would do is just take it and come over here. And you got some really good eats. You got some good meat here. And for such a cheap price. Wow, $1.99. That is beautiful. Okay. So I'm toasting up my rice. Smells delicious. It's a jasmine Thai rice. That's pretty much all I use. And used to not be a rice person. I didn't really care to eat rice too much. Only time I would eat rice is if it was Spanish rice. And that was it. But now I love my white rice. Sometimes I think it takes the rice that you like. You know, I don't think everybody's the same. And don't worry about the fat. You don't have to use the fat. And it will just flavor your dish. Pull it out. you know, but I kind of use everything so that it's flavor, flavor, flavor. But I don't eat a lot of the fat, but I do use it to cook with. But I ain't gonna tell a lie, I love fat. It's flavor. And then if you cut it up a little bit small, and then some of it's not even really edible, you have to really be careful. You have to know, when it cuts like that, it's edible, but when it's like this, it's not. It's not. Like, I never really buy beef fat. I usually buy pork fat when I need a little bit more fat in a dish, because it just renders so much easier. Okay, my rice is ready. It's toasting real well. I'm gonna turn on my noisemaker up here because it's whoosh, the steam's gonna come like crazy. Yep. Okay, and then let me get my fork ready. I'm gonna put my chicken stock in, and that's all I'm gonna use for my rice. Just the chicken stock. As soon as it comes to a boil, we'll cover. And we'll let that cook. It'll be about a 35-minute cook, which is good. Okay, so this is what I'm doing with my meat. So just gonna put this right here. I'll go in and trim it just a little bit more, cut the pieces in half just a little bit better for you. But see, I have to peel this off because this is not good, so we don't want that. And that's fine. And then, you know, as soon as you cook it, it'll start to come off for you too. Yep, but don't worry, great deal, $1.99 a pound, can't beat it. Okay, just go in, get your strips cut up a little bit. You don't have to cut them too small. And it's gonna come out delish. And remember, you can always cut them down if you want more cut down on it after it's done. That'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. But this piece is not good. We don't want that kind of stuff. And you'll know it when you put it in your mouth. You won't be able to chew it very easy. And that's why usually, honestly, I use filet mignon, because I do not like to chew my meat. I am kind of a meat snob. And, you know, now I'm even worse because I eat so much more chicken. Now, because chicken's so soft. Okay, that's all you're doing. Is you're just cleaning that up. We're going to give it a season. Okay, rice is going to come up to a boil in a minute. Remember, everything I'm doing today, you do it in this kind of quantity and you have food all week long, especially if you're meal prepping for lunches and stuff like that. Let me pull that off. So what I'm going to do is, you know me, I'm going to use my go-to, my lemon pepper. And I always wash my caps because, you know, it's my kitchen. And, you know, I'll clean them up after the fact. I'd rather show you guys how to season it. Just toss it and let it sit. It'll give it a good season. That lemon pepper is going to go great with my fresh teriyaki. Now I'm going to give it a wash because I'm going to put my meat to the side. And now what we're going to do is I made my own teriyaki. I could not find Yoshida. I wanted Yoshida. Could not find it anywhere in town. Looked. Couldn't find it. So I said, fine, I'll make my own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make your own. And it tastes absolutely delicious. I make it every once in a while. Most of the time, the only reason I don't make it is because I'm lazy. But this is what it looks like. It tastes fantastic. And it has cornstarch in it, so it'll thicken as we cook it in its own meat. It'll thicken. But this is absolutely delicious. You know what I do is I make this like a week before I'm going to use it. And it's fantastic. I have enough for today's dinner. So we'll just go ahead and make it. And then I'll put this one in the fridge to sit for another couple of weeks, and we'll probably have chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in. Ah, my water's come up, so we're gonna start steaming our veg. I'm gonna drop the snap peas and the zucchini and the broccoli, and I'm gonna time that. My carrots are real thin, so I'm not gonna put the carrot in yet. I'm gonna wait until that only has about 2 minutes because I still want to crunch to something, and these carrots are absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna start steaming. I'm gonna put the timer on for 11 minutes. We'll start steaming like crazy there. And then what I'm going to do is we're gonna make the sauce. Our wonderful, wonderful sauce. Really super easy. Super, super easy. So right now, rice is starting to come to a boil. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put the top on and we're gonna drop our heat to a very low heat. Okay, now I can turn off that noisy fan. What I'm gonna do first for our beautiful teriyaki sauce is I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 cup of water. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn my heat on too so I could dissolve the sugar and everything together. I'm gonna put a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm gonna reserve this right here, my measuring cup, because this is how I'm going to go ahead and do my water cornstarch slurry. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I did one here, and then there's one here. Okay. I'm gonna take 1 teaspoon of actual minced garlic. I like my garlic really done. I'm gonna turn my steam pot down. I had it on a little bit high, don't need it. Veg is steaming like crazy. Yummy. And then I have 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Ginger is what's gonna give it a little bit of a bite. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give this just a little mix real fast. And remember, if you don't like garlic like that, use powdered garlic, granulated garlic, doesn't matter. Whatever you have, whatever you want, your choice. Remember, this is your dish, your family, you know what they like and what they'll eat. I'm gonna pull that out. I had 1 little skin of a garlic as I chopped my garlic fresh. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of the honey. Everything is cooking good. Meat won't take very long at all. Okay. So what I'm going to do is push this out with my finger. And then what we'll do is, as soon as I get this pushed out and in, we'll go ahead and we'll put it on to heat and make sure everything is dissolved. Okay, that's number 2. And then, oh, my rice is doing real good. Look at my rice is bubbling. Got to give it a stir. When it bubbles like that, just give it a stir and it'll calm it all down. Oh my God, the rice smells so delish. And if you like your teriyaki a little bit sweeter, but you know what? If you let it sit overnight, it'll be nice and sweet. Mine's been sitting for about 3 days. Normally I make mine 3 to 4 days before we actually eat it. And what I do is I just do it with my finger because, you know, otherwise you end up messing up a whole bunch of dishes. No need. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this on. I'm going to let it warm for a second. We're going to go ahead We're gonna stir our rice. Looking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Smells so delish. Okay, now we won't have to touch it again. It'll be all good. Okay. We're gonna check our veg. Veg is steaming beautiful. Not gonna touch it. Now I'm gonna get another measuring. We're gonna let this heat for a second. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep the honey right here, just in case I need another little squirt, because sometimes you lose some, you know, when you're doing it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some cornstarch, and I'm gonna do a two tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 cup of water. This is what I'm gonna do. I had to wipe my hands. My hands are disgusting. I'm nice and sweet though. So I just used the same measuring cup. No sense going and killing yourself with dishes. So it's 1/4 cup, and I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of my cornstarch. Okay. And you know, once we get this done, this is the biggest part of your dish. Everything else is super easy. Like I said, the meat will fry so fast, or, you know, stir fry so fast that it'll be done in minutes. You know, and then what we'll do is, as soon as I get this in here mixing, we'll go ahead and go to break, so I don't keep you on camera for so long, because this is actually a really easy recipe. And this is cooking everything today for you guys. Like I said, normally when I have this dish, I already have it half done, because rice sits good, everything sits good. Only thing I really do is meat and veg fresh, but sauce and rice I already have done. So I'm gonna go ahead. My cornstarch is already in. My sugars are dissolved, cornstarches are mixed. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. Just keep stirring and watch it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to break. I'm gonna get everything else cooked except for the meat. We're gonna come back and we'll do the meat and plate together. So we'll be back. Welcome back. Okay, just cleaning up my lemon pepper bottle. Just put a tablespoon of canola oil in here, and it's pretty warm. I'm gonna try a little piece here. We'll let it get a little bit warmer for a minute. So what I did is I went in and I cut up our meat a little bit, because now I do it like my family. I told you guys do strips if you want to do strips, because traditionally that's how you do it. So now what I'm going to do is just put it all in. But my family, you know, they like theirs already cut up. They don't want to have to get a knife or anything like that. I've got mine on 390. It's going to heat fast, cook fast. Let me pull this over here just a little bit. In just a minute, I'm going to put my onion in, because that's what, between the lemon pepper and the onion, that's what's flavoring my meat. Plus it'll go great in my stir fry. I have my cold teriyaki sauce here, mixing it up. Chunks of everything. Let's give it another try. Absolutely excellent. With the ginger, you get that little kick. But with the honey and the brown sugar, you get a little sweet. The garlic note comes in perfect. Okay, we're at 390. We're going to drop the onions in. We're just going to let our meat brown. We have a ribeye, so it'll brown pretty fast. Since my bottle's all nice and cleaned up now, I'm going to add a little bit more lemon pepper. You guys know me, that's my go-to. And it's not too much. But boy, I sure had to clean it up. I had meat on it, the bottle, so, you know, get to cleaning. Okay, we're good. Here, our veg is done perfect. There's no more water in it. I just have it sitting. Snap peas are absolutely, you could take your fingernail. They're nice and soft. Broccoli is good, but not too soft. The zucchini is perfect in there. I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit higher because I want to get a brown on my my ribeye. Got to get a brown. Got to get a good sear mark. Okay, so my rice is done. I'm just letting it. I'm gonna fork it right now and fluff it up. I'm gonna take a bite. Absolutely delicious. I tell you, that Thai jasmine rice, oh my gosh, with just some water and bullion, or you could do chicken stock. I use the Knorr bullion, but I'm gonna try this. It's hot. Oh, absolutely perfect, but hot. Holy Toledo, nice and hot. I'm not going to take this other bite either, but I want you to see the rice. Looks absolutely beautiful. Like I said, this dish is a perfect dish for you to make for dinner. And like I said, you don't even have to make it all in one night, because, you know, trying to work, cook, clean, live, and do things, some days there's not enough hours in the day. That's why I always make a pot of rice, so that I can also control what I eat and how my family eats too, because, you know, we ain't getting any younger. So, you know, we need to really watch what we do. Is getting old stuff is for the birds, like I always say. You know. Okay, meat's looking really good. As soon as it's a little bit more done, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put our sauce on there. And that's going to be my beef teriyaki, or my teriyaki beef rice veggie bowl. And this is something we really do eat because it's fast, it's inexpensive, especially if you walk in and get a deal like I did. $1.99 for a prime rib USDA select, not choice, prime rib roast. So took the rib out, left a little bit of it so I could make some rib, and then I started slicing. I think I got, out of each one, I got enough for 3 people for 6 dinners. And I was like, wow, what a blessing. I couldn't have done better. Okay, so this is what our beautiful sauce looks like that we cooked together. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my jar, like this jar. So now I have one sitting in the fridge. And so if I wanna make a chicken one, I can make a chicken stir fry or a chicken teriyaki bowl. I always call them bowls. I like to make bowls. Everybody gets fed, not too much. Remember, just measure your food out if you're watching your waistline or you're watching your health. But it is actually something good, and you have it right there. So look at how it looks. Looks absolutely beautiful. All the garlic is opened and bloomed. Okay, my meat is done. So how I'm gonna set my bowl up is put my sauce in. And I used a whole cup of sauce because I want there to be some juice. I don't necessarily need it to be thick. It will thicken on its own after I start cooking it, just like this one thickens, because there's cornstarch in there. But what I want is, that's my sauce. That is going to be my sauce to put on just my meat, though. If you want any more sauce than that, because I would say you're going to have to use soy sauce or use the extra sauce in here. And like I said, it will thicken. I'm going to let this thicken for a minute. We'll be back, and then we'll plate. Welcome back. Okay, I've got 1 cup of rice, and I do measure my rice out when I'm making our food. On, you know, when I'm behaving myself, when I'm behaving, not misbehaving. So I'm behaving lately, but I'm working on it. But what I'm going to do is take out our veg. And I got some beautiful zucchini. Oh, very good. I just had a bite. Checked all my veg. And I've got some broccoli. So this is all I'm going to put on this bowl. And, but I've got some good stuff in here. And I love the carrots. And I usually do my dinners like this for my family. I put them on their plate just like that because I want the plate to look a certain way. It's so funny. I don't really have a lot of artistic talent, you know, but when I'm making food, I noticed I have a little bit of artistic talent here. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far, the rice and the veg bowl. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you how my sauce looks. My sauce is done like this on purpose because I want to soak it. Instead of doing it in a wet marinade, I don't really like that. For this, what I'm going to do is take and pick it up and scoop it like this. Just taking a couple of pieces of fat out. And then you know how I made 1 cup with you guys? Normally I make 2 cups at a time. Because see, I want there to be some juice. But I want this meat to sit in this juice. And then what I'm going to do is take some of that out, but this is what my meat will sit in. And then what I do is I take and I just drizzle a little bit. But I like this juice, and this way I always have a starter. If I were down low on, you know, sauce, I would still have enough to make. See how nice and thick it is? And that's going to flavor everything. You don't need much because there's a lot of flavor in it. Plus, you don't want to take away from your beautiful meat. You don't want to take away from your beautiful vegetables. So if you like the content of my beef, rice, veggie bowl, teriyaki, I'd be so grateful. And I suggest everybody should try it. It's a good meal. So thank you. And if you like that, please subscribe, share, and tell others. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you and have a blessed day.